Sup nerds, today we have our round one from our store championship from 2 weeks ago. The one I took first place in. This is my StarLord deck versus a BlackWarGreymon Reboot deck. I start off by hatching my Upamon and Digivolving into Starmons. And then Digivolving into Pitomon for 1 to choke him to 1. He hatches his Capriamon, Digivolves into Toy Agumon. And he hard plays the Structure Deck Toy Agumon to put me to 2. So the main thing you want to do when you're playing against any black deck or a deck that has access to Ultimate Flare is always be aware of it and never play into it. That's the number one thing. If you do that, most decks that play that, like, if they can't pop more than like 1 or 2 cards with it, they're probably just going to hold it in their hand for the whole time and never play it. Because they give you so much memory for like hardly any value. Like right now, I am playing into it, but he would give me 7 memory and to kill my board if he ultimate flared. So I did play Kodomon and search some stuff, and then choke him to 1 by doing it. Hatch my Upamon. And right here I'm actually thinking about just hard playing Knightmon to put him to 6 and kill his level 4. But I think that's probably just giving him a little too much memory. So I decided not to do it. But I'm very tempted to do it. It feels so good popping a champion with Knightmon. But I just Gladiemon to put him to 3 and then take a peek at my security and see what we got in there. Looks like we have a Starmons in there, and I'm trying to see what else. And I add a Gladiemon. I don't think I saw a Spiral in there. And then he activates the Structure Deck Toy Agumon's effect to draw 1 since I did not attack. So right now, if he ultimate flares me, hits my Pitomon, he will pop 2 cards and I'll go to 5 memory, but I have a champion on the field. So that's what you have to keep in mind every turn playing against black is play around ultimate flare to where it doesn't just dunk on you. Digivolves into Metal Greymon. And Digivolves for 1 into Numamon. This is one of the matchups, specifically against any deck that plays Ultimate Flare, that I really love Gladiemon in. Because it feels so good just hard playing him, and knowing that they really don't play any removal, it actually pops him. Also, another thing to keep in mind when you're playing against Ultimate Flare deck is if you Digivolve on top of your Digitama with Bushiagumon, keeps Ultimate Flare from popping your big stack completely, which is pretty cool. I Spiral to put him to 3, and then I think about it for a moment, but end up popping his ultimate, just to get the most value out of the minus 9k. Black Reboot decks have a pretty bad matchup against StarLord, just because of their lack of removal outside of Ultimate Flare. So you can just keep building your board, and when you see spirals, it's bad news bears. He Digivolves into the Structure Deck of Megadramon, the one that has an inheritable, it gives it blocker. It looks like he has a Craniumon in his hand. He was thinking about doing it, but he decides to Blitz a Greymon me instead. Not a lot of value here. He Digivolves my Pedo by 1. Doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. He doesn't have Ultimate Flare in his hand. Even though I am playing around it as best I can. He hasn't drawn it yet. And so now his mistake is he gave me 4 memory. And I am fairly certain I have another Spiral in my hand. I think I do anyway. So I play another Gladiemon. Search my security. Grab the LordKnightmon that I am fairly certain I knew was there. I think my plan was to Gladiemon, Knightmon, or LordKnightmon, I mean. Yeah, I do have another Spiral, so I just get to put him to 4 and minus 12k on his Mega. Say bye-bye. Feels bad, man. And once again, still playing around Ultimate Flare. He gets to pop 2 cards, and he would give me 4 memory if he did it. So something you should never do when you're playing against yellow is just promote out of the breeding area. You should just be chilling in the breeding area as much as you can, building up a threat. Because if you just keep popping your stuff out of the breeding area, it's not going to be good for you, because they can just pop stuff so easily, and it's just so free. You pretty much never get a chance to build up a board if you keep promoting out of the breeding area like this. Like, I think he promoted here because he's bricked up and has a bunch of rookies, and he's just trying to hatch and digivolve. Looks like he has, yeah, rookies and then megas, so I can't really do a whole lot. I think I saw 1 ultimate in there, but I don't think he has any champions. I think I've gotten rid of all the champions that he's played, or drawn, I mean. Right here I'm thinking if I want to promote, but I don't think it's a good idea, because I would not be playing around Ultimate Flare. He would be able to pop 3 cards with Ultimate Flare if I promoted. So I hard played Knightmon, put him to 4, and then kill the Gatsumon. Just continuously popping his board while making mine wider. Extremely unfair. And he digivolves into a Toy Agumon. Yeah, he has no champions in his hand. Like, this is not going well for him at all. If he had chilled in raising with even one of those champions, he could have built up a threat and maybe dropped his Zwart on me, because he has his Zwart in his hand. But sadly, he didn't do that, and he just let me keep popping his stuff. And he chokes me to 1 by hard playing the Commandramon. And I have a TK, so I'm going to go ahead and TK, put him to 3, and then I know on the following turn I can LordKnightmon without ending my turn. So that's why I'm doing that. Because he's not putting on any offensive pressure, he literally just has rookies on the field. And I grabbed the Starmon that's been chilling in my security since the beginning of the game. He has an Alter S in his hand too. Alter S would have nuked my board almost completely. So if he had just chilled in the raising with 1 guy, he could have surprised Alter S to me, because that's hardly played anymore. And that would have been pretty nasty. Definitely would have turned this game around for him a little bit. And he starts swinging. Hits a Bushi Agumon and dies. Now he just hard plays Craniumon. Puts me to 10. I'm not really sure why he did that. I think maybe he's just hoping that I can't deal with it and he can Alter S me. I think that's what he's thinking. But I go ahead and promote since he gave me so much memory. That I'm just going to try to swing for game here. So I digivolve into LordKnightmon. Draw into Kentorosmon. I'm a little fun of. It's searchable though. And I'm thinking of the best way to try to play around Ultimate Flare if I do happen to check it in security. That's what I'm thinking about right here. But I know if I swing with one of my small guys, he's just going to block it. So I just decide to swing with LordKnightmon. If I check an Ultimate Flare, I check an Ultimate Flare. You know, if he dies, he dies. So I swing with LordKnight, activate effects. Played Knightmon, minus 4k on the Gatsumon. This way I can swing with my 3 little guys, and I can only block one of them with Craniumon. And then he thinks about it for a moment, and he decides to block with Craniumon. I'm not sure why. He just lets me run over his Craniumon for free. I don't know if maybe he forgot that LordKnightmon gains 1000 DP on all turns. But he definitely just let me run over that for free, which he probably shouldn't have. So I digivolve up so I can drop another LordKnightmon. Nice swing security and activate the effect. Play a Starmons, and then Starmons will pop. They both have the same stack, so I just pop one of them. And I hit a Shademon that pops out of security. Not a huge deal, but it is a champion that he hasn't seen on this field in a while. So I can't kill him this turn if I swing out, and he's going to be able to block one of my guys for free. But I still go ahead and swing just to see how much security I can take out. He blocks the Kodomon swing with Shademon. And I move the guys that I played for the turn up to the front row since I made some room. Now I'm thinking if I want to swing with my Gladi or not. And I do. And Gladi dies, it's fine. All according to plan. And I Digivolve into Kentorosmon and then -2 security on both of his Digimon. And then he gains 2 memory from the Ty and Matt, so he goes to 4. So he's at 4, but honestly there's not really anything he can do on this board state. Ultimate Flare is not going to accomplish anything, and he doesn't have a way to build up into something that will wipe my board. Then he goes ahead and hatches. Digivolves into his Commandramon, digging for more cards. Digivolves into Dark Tyrannomon. So he has 2 blockers now, but he does not have enough blockers to keep me from killing him. Hard plays his Chumon, go to 0. And he hard plays LordKnightmon, put me to 8. Not a lot. Oh, and I drew a Spiral Masquerade just for insult to injury, so I can actually just kill both of his blockers and then swing. Even though I don't even have to. So I go ahead and just do it. -6 and -6 on both blockers. Nice swing with LordKnightmon, play Starmons, and I go ahead and just kill the Chumon. And game. So take game 1 pretty easily. If you're playing against yellow, you do not need to be promoting out of your raising area willy-nilly, because you're just going to get punished. They'll just continuously blow up your guys until you chill in the raising area and build up something big. Also, guys, we are doing a giveaway for a box of 1.0. The link for that giveaway is in the description, so make sure to check that out. And my opponent chooses to go first for game 2. Hooray for me. And he bricks, but he does draw a Numemon, so he doesn't have to give me a billion memory. Just gives me 3. I hatch and then Digivolve into Pulsemon. I play a Gladiemon to choke him to 1 and take a peek at my security. Grab a Gladiemon. I saw a Blinding Ray and a TK in there. Gladiemon for Gladiemon feels good, especially if you know there's another warrior in there. Because you know you can just get another card on the following turn. Going +1 and looking at your security is pretty lit. I really like Gladiemon. He draws a rookie on his second turn, and then Digivolves into Toy Agumon and Digivolves into Dark Tyrannomon for 1. Then plays Ty to put me to 4. I go ahead and promote. Ultimate Flare only pops one of my guys, so I don't really care about promoting my rookie. And then I Knightmon and put him to 3 and then pop his Numemon. Feels good, man. Because he's going to go to 3 anyway with the tie, so that's why I did that. And good for him, I did not get to see Alter S game 1, so I do not know to play around it. So if he does get in a situation where he can drop it on me, he can definitely catch me off guard. And he's debating on if he wants to Digivolve on top of his blocker or play another blocker. Decisions. He decides to play Gatsumon. And now he's thinking about just playing Blazing Storm of Metal just to choke me at 1. You can tell by the way he's holding and fidgeting with it. But it's such a waste just to play it just to choke me. And instead of doing anything, he just hard passes, which I disagree with. I think he should have Digivolved on top of his blocker there into his ultimate. I think that was a mistake. I think he's just afraid of me swinging with my small guys. But I think it's worth it to go ahead and start building into a Mega if you can. So I hatch and Digivolve into Pulsemon. And I have a Starmons in my hand. Now I'm thinking about what I want to do here. So I Digivolve into LordKnightmon. I swing security and then activate effects. Play Knightmon. And I kill the Gatsumon. And check a BlackWarGreymon, but LordKnightmon is 14,000 DP, so don't care. Then I just finish off my turn by playing Starmons for 3 and then minusing 5k on the Dark Tyrannomon and just clearing his board. And this is why you should be chilling in the raising area versus yellow. Because, like, how is he supposed to come back from this? Like, how are you supposed to come back from this? Like, Ultimate Flare would pop 2 guys. Like, he could Ultimate Flare my LordKnightmon and pop both of my rookies. But he's giving me 5 memory, and he still doesn't have a board if he does that. So he hard plays the Numamon and then Digivolves into Metal Greymon. Now I'm thinking about if I want to promote or not. But barring anything in security, I can actually just win without promoting. And I also don't just get blown out by Ultimate Flare. So I just don't promote. So I swing with Starmons. Check the Alter S. Swing with Pulsemon. Check out BlackWarGreymon. And that was me playing around Ultimate Flare. Because I know I can just kill him on this turn if I don't get blown out by Ultimate Flare. I play a Bushi. Check Taikamiya. Then swing with Bushi. And swing for game. So I do take this match 2-0 pretty easily. If you're playing against black, like I said, if you play around Ultimate Flare, there's not really a whole lot they can do if you're playing a good deck. And he's just playing a deck that's not fast enough. And if we both sit there and build up wide boards, like what black likes to do, I'm going to win every time because I'm just going to keep popping his stuff. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of content and want to come back for more. Until next time, see ya.